Sorry. And so you go out to walk the dog?
Well, no.
It's cool.
I sort of...
Do they allow dogs at the hotel?
Aren't you supposed to let people talk on the show?
Numerous current and former staff members of Jimmy Fallon's Tonight Show revelations about a rather troubling work atmosphere at The Tonight Show, with Fallon being implicated as the source of the turmoil.
This is the greatest show on television because there is no host in late night that pretends to care the way you do.
Thank you.
And I love that. And I love that so much. Oh, no.
Thank you.
I mean, no one captures phoniness the way you do. It's a gift.
Rolling Stone reached out to more than 80 individuals, including both current and former employees, and their feedback wasn't positive. As the article put it, not a single one had positive things to say about working on The Tonight Show, with some alleging they were belittled and intimidated by bosses, including Fallon.
No, but this was gigantic. This is the first time a drag queen has ever been put on the cover
A drag queen? A drag queen? I am the queen of drag.
I apologize.
According to these staff members, office banter about suicide was disturbingly common, and the toll on their mental health was significant, leading to issues like hair loss and weakened nail beds. Some even had to seek therapy, and one person even grappled with suicidal thoughts. The internet rightfully has been up in arms about this. One person tweeted, "Dakota Johnson was ahead of her time when she clowned on Ellen, and she was ahead of her time when she clowned on Jimmy Fallon, too." Another person pointed out some past antics. Tina Fey had Jimmy Fallon dead to rights more than a decade ago in her memoir, Bossy Pants. We'll never forget this account about his exchange W. Amy Poehler in an SNL writer's room. More people used this opportunity to assert that Conan was truly the only host that could be called the king of the late-night shows, Jimmy Fallon getting Ellened, which is sad to see. Also, Conan O'Brien paid his staff in full during the 2007 writers' strike and during the entirety of his hiatus following his departure from The Tonight Show, and once fired a staffer for being rude to a waiter, just saying. Jimmy Fallon being an doesn't come as a surprise to me, but I swear to God, if Seth Meyers, Stephen Colbert, John Oliver, or Conan ever turn out to be dickheads as well, which I simply can't imagine ever happening, I will never recover. This unsettling environment appears to stem from Fallon's erratic behavior. Some employees claimed he occasionally showed up for work while under the influence of alcohol. Rolling Stone reported 2 instances where colleagues detected alcohol on his breath, with employees speculating that Fallon's demeanor depended on whether he was nursing a hangover from the previous night. One former staff member lamented, "If Jimmy is in a bad mood, everyone's day is messed up. People wouldn't joke around in the office, and they wouldn't engage in casual conversations. When something was wrong, we all knew how to behave afterwards, just sort of avoid eye contact and don't make another mistake," another said. "It would happen over the smallest thing. It was just really, really sad to me that this really talented man created such a horrible environment for the people there," one more shared. Fallon reportedly dished out passive-aggressive personal insults during feedback sessions and would publicly reprimand employees, including celebrity guests. According to reports, leadership figures under Fallon's purview were equally problematic. One employee was dismissed without reason, some were afraid to approach HR, and others faced racist remarks from their superiors. "They are the worst bosses I've ever had in my life," one staff said. "They use that position of power to bully and treat staff that way, and the network is aware of how they treat people. They not only continue to enable it, but they reward it." Jimmy Fallon has reportedly issued an apology to The Tonight Show staff after a Rolling Stone investigation uncovered years of a toxic workplace culture, primarily attributed to him as the show's star. Staff members alleged that there were good Jimmy days and bad Jimmy days behind the scenes, with Fallon's demeanor fluctuating. Following the publication of Rolling Stone's report, Fallon held an all-hands Zoom meeting with the staff on the same day to express his remorse. Showrunner Chris Miller, who joined as an executive producer in 2022, was also present and joined in the apology. "It's embarrassing and I feel so bad. "Sorry if I embarrassed you and your family and friends," Fallon reportedly said during the meeting, as reported by Deadline. "I feel so bad I can't even tell you." He also acknowledged that he had done embarrassing things in the past, but never intended to create that type of atmosphere on the iconic talk show, previously hosted by Johnny Carson and Jay Leno. "I want this show to be fun," Fallon reportedly emphasized. "It should be inclusive for everybody." In response to these revelations, an NBC spokesperson released a statement on Friday saying, "We are incredibly proud of The Tonight Show, and providing a respectful working environment is a top priority. As in any workplace, we have had employees raise issues. Those have been investigated, and action has been taken where appropriate. As is always the case, we encourage employees who feel they have experienced or observed behavior inconsistent with our policies to report their concerns so that we may address them accordingly." This isn't the first scandal Fallon has been involved in. Back in 2016, Jimmy Fallon stirred up some controversy when he interviewed Donald Trump during his Republican presidential campaign. Critics didn't hold back, accusing Fallon of being too friendly and trying to make Trump appear more relatable with lighthearted questions. To top it off, Fallon even playfully ruffled Trump's hair at the end of the interview. 2 years later, Trump took to Twitter to give Fallon a piece of his mind after the late-night host talked about the backlash he faced over the interview on the Hollywood Reporter's Awards Chatter podcast. The president tweeted, "At Jimmy Fallon is now whimpering to all that he did the famous hair show with me, where he seriously messed up my hair, and that he would have now done it differently because it is said to have humanized me. He is taking heat." He called and said, "Monster ratings. Be a man, Jimmy." In 2014, Fallon found himself in the midst of a bar brawl while hanging out with friends in New York City. Although he emerged unscathed, it raised eyebrows given his squeaky clean image. Horatio Sanz, Fallon's former SNL castmate, hinted that Fallon had been in a few scuffles in the past, saying, "Yeah, we got in a couple of brawls. I've seen Jimmy clock a few people." Fallon's relationship with alcohol has been a topic of discussion among fans. Several castmates and friends, including Sanz, have shared stories about his drinking. Sanz described them as super-functioning alcoholics during their SNL days, attributing it to the high stress of the job. However, Fallon refuted any notions of a drinking problem, stating in 2017, "I could never do a day-to-day job if I was drinking every night. That's just kicking you when you're down." There was a peculiar incident where 2 employees witnessed Fallon scolding a crew member responsible for his cue cards during a taping with comedian Jerry Seinfeld. It was an uncomfortable moment, and Seinfeld stepped in, urging Fallon to apologize to the cue card production member, which he reportedly did. This incident, which was cringeworthy to watch, didn't make it to the televised version of the show. It was very awkward, and Jerry was like, "You should apologize to him," almost trying to make it a joke, one says. "It was one of the strangest moments ever, and so many people were there, so it's kind of hard to forget." Speaking of TV hosts facing controversies, Ellen DeGeneres, known for her "be kind to one another" sign-off, found herself mired in allegations about her show's toxic work environment in 2020. Despite her 19 successful seasons, allegations of a toxic atmosphere on the set began to overshadow her career, even her role as Dory in Disney Pixar's Finding Nemo and Finding Dory. Rumors had been circulating for a while, but the bombshell came when BuzzFeed published 2 articles in July 2020 detailing a culture of racism, sexism, and toxicity on the Ellen DeGeneres show set. Former staffers revealed that the "be kind" mantra only applied when the cameras were rolling and that the workplace was plagued by misconduct by top executive producers. DeGeneres responded by asserting that she had initially aimed for her show to be a place of happiness and respect. She acknowledged that something had changed and expressed her disappointment in the situation, taking responsibility as her name was associated with the show. Subsequently, Warner Brothers conducted an internal investigation, leading to the dismissal of producers. The show suffered a drop in ratings, lost celebrity guests, and saw advertisers withdraw their support. Ultimately, after 19 seasons, it was announced that the show would come to an end. Will the same happen to The Tonight Show? It's too soon to tell, but it isn't out of the realm of possibility. That's all for the video, folks. Thanks for watching.